Welcome in the first edition PhillyVoice Sports Bets. We appreciate you rolling with us. Fastest 15 minutes you'll spend today. Love when everybody says that. They brag about, well, this is the fastest hour, the fastest show. Here's what I know. The show won't drag. It may be a drag, but it won't drag. If it drags, that's because of me. All right, welcome in the three of us. We appreciate you hanging. It's a betting show, but you know it's going to go off the rails. Devan Kaney, Harry Mays, I'm Eytan Shander. Matt Chirico's producing. We'll get to him coming up in a second. Some bets, some things to look forward to, but we kind of have to explain what the hell the three of us and Matt are all doing here on PhillyVoice Sports from a betting standpoint. Normally, we would jump in, talk about what happened. You know, Deshaun Watson, there's news going on in the NFL, Eagles camp, what have you. But I know Harry, Devan, to the point where he won't let us talk about what anything at all happening in our city or beyond without being like, whoa, what the hell am I doing here?
No, I know what I'm doing here. I mean, I'm doing here what I was wanting to do 15 years ago, back when I was talking about sports betting and lines and everything on 97.5. The Fanatic and the program director would just like pull his hair out. What is he doing? I mean, gambling's illegal and all that stuff. It's legal, man. And this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to this industry, Eytan, since Mike and the Mad Dog first turned on the switch in the late 80s in New York City.
It absolutely is. And I can't believe how quickly it's taken off. I think I got my start in this business a little bit later. So it's kind of been like, since I got into the industry, sports betting has also been something that isn't really taboo to talk about anymore. So I'm super pumped to be here, super excited to get into things, especially when things get back into full swing. I always call this period of the year like reverse seasonal depression in terms of sports, because there's not much going on, but you can always find something to talk about when it comes to sports betting.
That's the beauty of it. You're right. Like, from a fandom standpoint, Phillies aside, I get it. But from a fandom standpoint, there's so much buildup and expectation about the fall where we all are, the three of us here in Philadelphia, that you're right. I love that. Just want to make sure I got the phrase right. Reverse seasonal depression.
Yeah. I mean, summer's great, and love the Phils. But look, there's not much else going on. Not much.
Right. It's not football. Harry loves, this is the beauty too of it, is not only does Harry get to talk about betting, but he gets to talk about college football, which was also forbidden for so long on the radio airwaves here. But no, I think where we all come together on this is just the growth of how much this has become mainstream, how much it's become part of a conversation. It's no longer just, what are the odds? And you go and you have to place some wager with somebody that you don't know if you're going to get something back. It's so normalized. The pandemic did so much, and I hate to say it, but from a positive standpoint, from a book, like, I mean, think about that, right? Like, Devan, how much did it's just, hey, I'm going to go to Superbook and just pump a couple of plays right there where you don't physically have to go to a brick and mortar anymore. So it's not only normalized, I think, in conversation from a sports standpoint, but it's also just part of our daily lives. Like, I'm about to go to Massachusetts for 2 days, and the first thing I did was just double check that it's still illegal there.
Right.
And it is.
It is. Oh, no, I didn't.
I think they just legalized it.
Yeah, today.
They knew you were coming, Eytan, and they decided to push it through this week.
Look at this. Somebody maybe somebody got word out ahead of time. I didn't know that. It didn't even pop up on a Google search. Don't you think that would be the first thing the state would want out there?
You would think.
They're like, Eytan's coming, guys. We got to go. Got to figure it out.
Coming.
There's money to be made off Shander. Let's go. Let's legalize
You're going to Massachusetts. I'm going to Connecticut this week, too. I mean, we're not going to cross paths up there, are we?
I think you're going to make sure we don't.
Okay. Yeah, very good.
Why are you both heading to New England? Enemy territory up there.
I have family up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to visit them. And my mom is up there from Florida. So we're just going up there for a couple of days. But Eytan, you've got family up there too, right?
Yeah, my dad, everybody moved south, and my dad ultimately did, but he still has this house up on the Cape, and it's basically like I have to have him see my son, right? They have to hang out and see each other. I want that, definitely. Am I going to fly to Florida, or am I going to buck up and drive 6-7 hours to the Cape? I'd rather be in the car anyway. So maybe that's the wrong decision, but that's kind of it's like we have to do this now where the summer's over.
Don't you love how he just slipped that in there, Devin? The cape.
Yes.
You know? Real casual.
Like, poor you, Eytan. The choice is Florida or the Cape.
Yeah.
Well, look,
what next? The vineyard?
Yeah.
No. I promise that you won't hear any. I won't be doing the show Wednesday from Block Harbor. I promise you that. Okay. People don't even know where the hell that is.
I do.
See. All right. So here's the deal. We're here. We're hanging. We'll go off the rails again. Trust me. I want you to look at this because this came, and I'm already in trouble in the household here because I bought 3 different types of these. Can you see this? This is a candle.
Okay.
All right. It's probably not going to pop up on the green screen as easy, but you see what this is?
It looks like cereal.
Cinnamon Crunch.
Yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's a scented candle that's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. All right. So I promise you, this is going to come back into the show at some point.
Are you selling those on QVC too?
No.
Is this one of your other 18 gigs?
No. Look, I promise this platform will not be used to sell ladders that you'll see here on QVC. No, here's what we're doing, though, is we're going to bounce around. And this is what I love about this show is each day is going to have its own personality. I'm on Mondays. Harry's running the show on Wednesday, and Devin has the show on Friday. So ideally, as Devin mentioned, this is football. We'll talk about anything and everything we can at football. I mean, shit, we may even preview the USFL if we have like 90 seconds. It's going to be so much football. But we'll have time to talk about different things, and it's always going to be off the rails. So the personality element of it is going to show out each day. We're also going to talk about things we like. And this is a perfect segue here because Devin, and we have to start with Devin, Harry, because she's on to something. And I don't think a lot of people have looked at this in depth simply because of, and this is what I love about betting, is that things change every year, but the public perception is slow to change. You see that with the Baltimore Orioles this year, but you have something. We'll bounce around. You have something. Harry has something. I have something that we're looking at ahead. Yeah. But I love it. And this is the best place to start because I know for a fact people in Philadelphia will have their eye on this individual.
Oh, for sure. So as you mentioned, football, even though we aren't in season, there's still plenty of football to bet on. I love looking at the futures for the different awards, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. But for my best bet for the NFL, I love the Coach of the Year because my hot take is that our own guy, Doug Pederson, is going to win Coach of the Year because he's coming into this Jags team. I think he's the perfect coach to help Trevor Lawrence develop. And I think if he gets that team to win, I don't know, even a little bit less than half of their games, he's a shoo-in for that award. Because really, and I'm not trying to discredit him or take away from his potential success this season, the bar is on the ground for that organization. So if he gets them to improve even just a little bit, I'm not saying even take them to the playoffs, he will win Coach of the Year.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
But plus 1,600 is the last I checked. That it changes, but I'm pretty sure he's at plus 1,600, which isn't too bad. It's not a long shot.
No, well, look, that's a great ticket to cash by all means. So Harry's initial response, I think, is what a lot of people will say. Oh, wow, you're going to Jacksonville. But there's so much history that supports this play that I love, mainly if you look at a couple of things, like a team that finished -10 in turnover ratio, bottom of the league in turnovers, and has a new head coach. That trifecta of circumstance leads to a team that's like 65% against the spread the following year, and usually like 55 to 60% straight up, because turnovers are variance. Turnovers change. And Jacksonville, they weren't that bad last year. Urban Meyer was just a bozo.
Their defense was horrendous.
No, look. Trevor Lawrence got better like Eli Manning got better in his first year. Go back to that. Let me leave you with one last thought on Doug Pederson, why I love this. All right. Brandon Sheriff. Okay.
Yeah, acquisition from Washington.
21-3 straight up Washington with Sheriff on the field.
Yeah, the problem is he was hardly ever on the field for Washington. The guy was injured every season, I think, since they drafted him in the top 5 out of Iowa. He's a great player when he's available. But Bill Parcells had that famous quote about, being available. That's the most important characteristic for a football player.
I love Doug P, Coach of the Year.
Wow. What are you setting the bar at? 6 wins?
No, I think 10 wins.
10? 10.
10 wins is generous. 10 wins is generous.
They got to go to Kansas City. They got to go to the Chargers. They got to come here to Philly. They could start out 0-4, Eytan. Washington on the road, Indianapolis at home, Chargers and Eagles on the road.
Wait a second. First off, you better take Jacksonville with the points immediately week one.
Well, this isn't a with the points award, though. They're not
No.
saying, hey, Dougie P, against the spread, you kicked ass. Let's give you the freaking Coach of the Year award. Okay, See, now I feel like I'm on radio.
Take look. I know you got to get to your college play here, all right? But let me look at it this way. Take Jacksonville week one to win the game, all right? Screw the spread. Here, who knows Carson Wentz better than Carson Wentz or his okay?
Well, that's a fair point.
And Ron Rivera has a losing record straight up at home.
Yeah.
Okay. But they still got to go Indianapolis at the Chargers at the Eagles. Dude, the Eagles are beating them.
Devin just threw a huge firebomb into the conversation here right away. Let's go. This is great.
I'll say this. We would all love to see Dougie P beat the Commanders for many, many reasons, particularly Carson Wentz. As long as they don't come in and beat the Eagles, I'm cool with whatever record the Jags want to go with this season.
Who are they playing in London this year? Denver?
Oh, I
think they're playing Denver, and their record, I think, is 4-4 in London since they've been going over there. But they got Russell Wilson over there now.
Hey, Nathaniel Hackett is the other guy to look at for Coach of the Year.
Right.
But I would look at both of those guys.
Right.
Absolutely. All right, Harry, you've got a college play.
Yeah, this is the time, like Devin was saying, these futures bets are so great in the month of August for win totals on football. I'm going out of my mind. I was looking at so many of them the other day, but one really jumped off the page at me, and it's the Miami Hurricanes over 8.5 wins. I think this team is going to have a real big rebound under Mario Cristobal, of course, who took over for Manny Diaz. He brought in here a great coaching staff. They got Kevin Steele as the defensive coordinator. He's been at Auburn. He's been at LSU. He's been at Alabama. And this guy is a defensive guru. And then they brought in Charlie Strong to help him out on the defense. So they got 2 transfers at defensive end. They're going to run a traditional 4-3, which is good. This Mitchell Agood kid from UCLA is a stud, and Akeem Mesidor transferred from West Virginia. They're going to fit in perfectly to what they're trying to do on defense. The number's 8.5. Tyler Van Dyke is a stud quarterback. Okay. He came on for De'Aaron King last year and threw 25 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, threw for almost 3,000 yards in not a full season. They bring back Jalen Knighton and Cameron Harris at running back. I know they lost Rambo and Harley to the NFL at wide receiver, but Miami they just grow wide receivers. They're almost like an Ohio State light when it comes to wide receivers that have NFL talent. And they got 2 big-time tight ends in Will Mallory and Elijah Arroyo that are going to get a lot of work. 3 home cupcakes, including Bethune-Cookman, Middle Tennessee, I believe, and Southern Miss. So there's 3 wins. They're going to go to Texas A&M. They probably lose that game on the road. They probably lose to Clemson on the road. That's 2 losses. The trigger games to me are home against UNC and at Virginia Tech. If they can win both of those games, I think they easily clear 8.5 wins. Miami over 8.5.
Booking that right now. Now, this is you'll get to know this, both of you, Harry, to an extent, but I want to push it. I don't want to just take 9. I want to know if I can get to 10 because I can get them at plus 175. Look at that. Devin's like, what are you doing?
Well, so here's my thing with college football. You just never know what's going to happen. That's why college football is so fun because those games, especially compared to NFL, the high scoring, anything can happen because of that. 10, I think, is I would not. I don't know if I'd be confident in that.
Eytan loves the alternative numbers. He loves that stuff.
Here's the thing. Harry's like, if they get those 2 key games, they can easily clear 8.5, which is 9.
Right.
So if they only get one of those 2, you're hovering around 9. But you're right. Like the variance in college football is absurd. Yeah. So you're better off locking in the 8.5. All right, maybe I'll play both. Maybe I'll put a unit behind Harry and I'll throw a half unit there at the 175. It's just hard to ignore if you're getting so close to 9. That's all. That extra little dip. I'm not pushing this thing to 12 wins or anything absurd.
They've also
he's like undefeated. Book it now.
Right.
And they've also nixed the turnover chain. Did you see that? You remember the turnover
Well,
chant they wear on the sidelines when they, make a pick or something? Mario Cristobal said, "Get that out of here. We're focused on team. This isn't about what."
I don't like that at all.
Oh, so that changes your play.
Yes, I'm under now. You can't take that. You can't take your heart and soul, which is the turnover chant.
Oh, that was something that Mark Richt was doing to pander to those players anyway. Garbage.
Okay, well, look, culture, man. Didn't Chip say that?
Yeah, that's right. Culture's the key.
All right. We're moving. And today's a little different just because we're introducing everything to the show. You're already getting a good feel out of it here. And I'm going to leave you with a thought on the way out. It's not going to be a specific play. It's going to be more of this futures ticket that I'm dealing with in a minute. But Matt Chirico, and I hope I'm saying that again right, because I already brutalized it earlier, is our producer. And Matt's going to do a ton for us. Matt can pop on and say hi to the world as well, because
what's going on, everybody?
We'll see him. We'll work him in. He's sharp. He's in this business. He knows the ins and outs of betting as well. So just wanted to introduce, and I'm sure Harry's going to put him to work right away. And
no.
I'm here for it.
No, who do you think I am, Nick Cale? I never overworked producers back in the day. No, okay. I always treated everybody good.
Now, I have to ask, and Matt's here as well, so just hang for a second. Before I give you this dilemma, this issue, that it's not really that big of a dilemma since it's money, and I know where I'm going my money over my heart. But these came in a 3-pack, and I bought them, and I'm already in trouble because I can't burn them in the house. Now, the baby, you're not supposed to burn these candles, whatever, next to the baby. Who knows? But I've got
don't light fire next to baby. No.
Yeah, I was told that, Devin, and I'm like, okay, I guess it makes sense. I guess it makes sense. But what's the best smelling cereal? I've got Cocoa Puffs, I've got Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I have Lucky Charms. It doesn't have to be of these three, but remember, like Captain Crunch is unedible, whatever.
No, what? Captain Crunch is the best cereal in the world.
I was gonna say Captain Crunch. That berry smell might be nice.
Wow, I'm going Honey Nut Cheerios.
Don't you have to wear like a mouth guard before you eat Captain Crunch?
No, that's why it's so good. It sticks to your teeth. But I don't know if I'd want a candle. Like it's the best tasting. I don't know if I'd want a candle.
Okay.
Captain Crunch. Scent wise, I gotta go Cinnamon Toast Crunch just because like that cinnamon warm scent would be nice.
Yeah, I agree.
What is your obsession with these cereal flavored candles? Or
what do you mean obsession?
Candles? I mean, what is going on?
You know what went on? I'm sitting on this self-checkout line, and it's just getting longer and longer the longer I wait on there. And this is next to me.
See, they get
and
you.
I bought it. Yep. Look, it was either that or like a Reese's peanut butter cup. So at least I did the right thing. I didn't impulse buy snacks, right?
Now that would be a good candle, though, a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Oh, see, now you're
thinking. That would be a good candle.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let me leave you with this thought here. All right. I have no choice, right? And I'm asking, but I have no choice but to root for the Braves from here on out. And here's why. I got in Austin Riley, decent time, plus 1,400.
MVP?
To win the MVP. Yeah. That's cut in half. Heroics again last night. Now, here's the reality, though, and this is where I'm a little bit blended between what I should do as far as like just be totally cutthroat and say my money is my money versus like, you know what, the Phillies, I got to root for them too and all that. He's not going to win it unless Paul Goldschmidt gets hurt, right?
Yeah, Goldschmidt's rate right now is just unreal. A batting average doesn't even tell the whole tale of what he's been doing for that team, carrying the offense. So I can't see. Nobody really expected the Cardinals to be what they are today, so I'd probably say it's Goldschmidt's to lose unless he gets hurt.
He's minus 150 to Riley now plus 550. So there's an insane jump that I got on the value there. But my point being is that if it's inevitable, should I even waste my time being like, screw the Phillies, I'm just rooting for Austin Riley and the Braves, even though it's not going to hit?
Well, I think you can do both.
I think it's a nice consolation prize, the Phillies continue to slide and do bad, then you can be like, oh, it's okay. I've got this guy here in the Braves. Like, they're my backup team.
What if the Phillies move the Cardinals out of the playoff picture? If Goldschmidt and the Cardinals don't make the playoffs, it's a little harder to win MVP, right? Yeah. So you can root for the Phillies to do that and still get your Austin Riley.
Okay. So I can go out publicly and still root for the Phillies and not feel like I'm truly...
Yeah, if only they could play the Pirates the rest of the season.
Well, we'll see that. All right, we're just getting started here. We appreciate it. You can watch us on the Philly Voice YouTube page. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. But We'll be on Philly Voice 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll talk about all the future stuff we can jam in here in the NFL, college, and slide in anything else, including Lucky Charms and the scent that may be. Appreciate for Devan, Harry, I'm Eytan, Matt as well producing. We'll see you Wednesday.